everybody, I need Nate's help because he's the expert. I need your help, and you're gonna help me and tell me what I'm doing wrong here because we up to date. We're doing a wild card draft, game week 8. Always a good time to do one
Hmm.
when you are always
Behind.
good to do a wild card draft after after an international break. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. After an international break. So take a look at this wild card, and we're gonna start with goalkeepers. Nate, tell me what you think of my goalkeeper choices and how am I wrong? Because that's what you're gonna say. So how am I
Okay.
wrong? What have I
How are
done?
you wrong? Is Jaros probably never going to play? Let's be honest. Unless Kelleher
I,
gets injured, he's probably not going to ever play. So he's kind of there for you to just save funds, which I
yes.
back because my second choice goalkeeper is also probably never going to play. I have Valid Marson. I've got the Fleck and Valid Marson combo. Mine is a bit more like mine's more tactical in the sense that if Flecken goes out, Valid Marson will play. However, I like it in your sense because it enables Raya, and Raya is points, and Raya's not going to get injured. Like I don't think he'll get injured.
Ateta
So
will summon him back from the dead with
yeah,
necromancy or
he'll
something.
perform
Look at
some
Arsenal's next three fixtures though.
or
After
five
Bournemouth,
next 5 or 4 fixtures. Yeah,
we've got Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea. Right?
mm.
Just just look at this run, squeezed between Forest and Bournemouth, which would probably be a little easier. Are you still saying that Raya is a good pick for a defender on your wild card now, or are you looking at some other options that you got in your back pocket there? Give me some options that's better than Raya.
The
Tell me
only
Raya's.
so thus far premium has proved to be the way to go. However, to if you wanted more funds for other moves, I would say Pickford. Um, Jordan Pickford for me has just been a good FPL asset. He's got great points. He saves a lot, and then just coincidentally, with that, good old Virginia, the backup keeper, because I've just been going at that that strategy this season about having the main and the backup. Great haul last week. I think it was 15 points or something. And also, I'm just seeing green, bro. Is it Christmas? Is the tree up? What's going on?
It's hurting my eyes. It's as green as his top.
Yo, he
Ipswich,
blends in.
Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Brentford, Man United, and Wolves. That is a run of 7 fixtures that I would put some clean sheet money on, except it's Everton, though. And
Mm,
they're not in a good place.
exactly. That's the only thing why I wouldn't pick him. But again, what budget goalkeeper's solid this year? No one. Flicken hasn't been getting clean sheets. Henderson, they get the one haul, but like consistently, no one. It's been the premium. So
Well, you've been talking about this pair and his budget, but he's playing because of Allison's injury. Tell
this
me
would
why
be
you
the
think this is a good idea.
correct. This would be the other alternative for me. Is we remember Kelleher from last season and the points that he hauled when that Allison went off injury. I think we could see the same thing. Allison's got an unknown return date, so at least 6 weeks. I think we're expecting, which is 6 weeks of 4.4 goodness. So, like we said, we did mention earlier that Liverpool's defense might not be as tight. However, just having a premium goalkeeper or having a premium team that a goalkeeper's 4.4 that's going to start is something that's really nice to consider.
For me, I don't think I trust Everton's defense, but I do trust Liverpool's defense.
Mm.
And considering they are the best defensive unit in the league so far, I think going with a defensive pairing, a cheap way into that defense would be 4.4. We know
Yeah.
goalies, we don't normally expect a lot. Going in with Kelleher might be exactly what we need to do
Yeah, and the
going
only thing
forward.
and the only thing that's prevents you from doing is like going DS Salah or Trent Salah. But we're moving away from those assets anyway. So and you manage this team later down the line to rotate those keepers out, and I think you've got a good system going on.
Special mention to Sanchez as an option. He's got two double-digit hauls
Yeah, it
over
saved Chelsea a point last week out.
twice.
Yeah.
Like that
Um,
was he saved us points twice now.
yeah, against
But he also
Forest.
doesn't have the best fixtures
But
though.
I don't back Chelsea to keep clean sheets. Personally, me
Nope.
as a Chelsea fan. Just
Nope.
it's the way it is. We outscoring.
Nope.
We're old Liverpool, basically. So moving along from
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so
Defender's
we'll
fine.
leave goalkeepers at for now, and I'll stay with Kelleher and Jarvis as my goalkeepers of choice. Now, we'll go to defenders. Let me start off by saying I'm not opposed to having two 4.0, 4.1 defenders to
Mm,
save money, and I've
mm,
got Hardwood, Bellis, and Face, which I know is exactly the same two you have.
yeah,
So you okay with that decision?
yeah. I'd be happy with that.
So if you're building a wild card, some saving some money for later on, put those 4 million defenders in, leaves me with as much budget as I can. Now, what best three defenders are you thinking about? Keeping in mind I want to spend some more money up front and in the midfield. Look at the
For
defenders I have. I've got Gabriel up front. Are you okay with that?
I don't mind Gabriel. I think he's matching the premium managers that own Trent. So you're saving 1 million. I would look at it like that. I wouldn't look at Gabriel as a Gabriel or Dallo or Gabriel or I don't know Lewis or Gabriel Lavardi or Gabriel Porro. I would look at Gabriel as a Trent because
Yeah.
they're playing for they're up there. They're the premium teams. So for me,
Even with those fixtures, you think he's still worthy?
yeah, because of set piece threat, and we know Haaland transferred his powers to Gabriel's head. So
Yes. Yes.
we
Yes, he
must
did.
never lest we forget. No,
I'm not
I
messing with
think
Arteta. I
I
think
think
he's
I think Gabriel's good set piece, let alone clean sheet threat. So yeah, I like it. Face and Howard Bettis we spoke about good solid budget picks, and that will start. So good rotations. In fact, I'm starting Face this weekend because of this injury issue. So for
now
me,
looking at Manchester City. I want you to get your opinion on this
mm,
because I was toying with Vardial, sorry, or Lewis or both. And if you look at City's fixtures, they are immense. They are the best. Okay, I shouldn't say immense. They're decent up to that Spurs game. But if you look at in
well, I wouldn't
total,
say Spurs is a 4 to be fair. So I would say Spurs is also a good game for them.
and just the next two, they are playing the next two matches against the two weakest defensive records in the Premier League. Two teams that have the ability to concede +6 goals at a time.
Mm,
Southampton and
mm,
Wolves.
mm. My
I
only
was thinking double up on them.
my only
Why wouldn't you?
concern with Lewis is that I don't know if he plays the whole time because of how Pep likes to maneuver his squad. So that's the only thing for me. Otherwise, I think it's a good pick. Um, I would throw an honorable mention instead of eight Nouri. Instead of Lewis, I'd say eight Nouri. Eight Nouri. I don't know how I say it. I apologize. But the
I
Wolves
just alt control delete. Yeah.
control Alt Nouri. 4.4 mil from Wolves. Definitely is going to be starting. Has been having a good assist run over the last 2 weeks. I think it's been assists. Playing Man City, so not the best, but afterwards, very good fixtures. Very,
Yeah,
very good
he's a very good
fixtures.
attacking return option. Maybe after the next two fixtures, even Brighton might be a little. Actually, no, Brighton have a weak defense. So yeah, after the City game, I could see them doing a
And
lot. In
that could
fact,
save you some money for your midfield as well.
I don't think City will keep a clean sheet. They're not keeping clean sheets. I'd back Wolves to lose by 6 goals, but Wolves to score one.
I agree. And for Alt Control Nouri to be involved.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
um,
Now I was trying to put in Diego Dallo in my team, but I'm not so sure United defender is the best because I don't trust them
I'm
because
a
they're
United agent. No, I'm joking.
so other options I was thinking about is Justin,
Ooh, James
right?
Justin. I like it as
But
well. But then
I've
you're
already got
doubling.
face in there.
Ooh, and you
Give
got
me some
Vardy.
other
So,
yeah.
um,
Give me some other options for defenders that you like from your list. What have you
so
got?
I would say Konsa, but unfortunately Konsa's injured, so he's not really one to look at. I do want to say Porro. Maybe it's time to move back to Pedro Porro.
My problem is look how far down he is in the list.
I
I have
know,
to go looking for him.
but with
I
the
still
way
can't
Spurs
see
are
him. Is he
lining
even
up,
here?
there he is, below Mazzari. Up, 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 up. One more.
Ah, there you go.
Just check out his stats quickly for everyone as well that they can see. Um, he's obviously nothing to write home about, but what I'm more looking at is the fact that he's darting forward a lot and he's making a lot of touches in the attacking half. He's playing almost an inverted role at times. So because Son isn't
Yeah.
there, he's got the space. Which is the only reason why I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, which brings me to my midfielder point because if you're not going to play, if Pedro Porro is going to play, maybe you'll be more attacking because if we jump to midfield now and we look at Brendan Rodgers as an option, I've got him in. Sorry,
Brendan
Brendan
Johnson.
Rodgers.
Brendan-
Brendan Johnson. Brendan Rodgers is not an option, ladies and
it's
gentlemen.
a new
He
it's a
ain't
new
back.
player.
Brendan Johnson. Listen, Brendan Johnson. He's played for Wales. He scored this week, but he hobbled off injured. Okay,
Next Gareth Bale
and
for
he's been on.
Spurs.
He is on fire for Wales. He's on fire for Spurs. He may be injured or maybe not. I don't know. I'm gonna check in the news coming up. But
Yeah,
if
you
he's
got him
injured,
in. You got him in before the price rise because he's currently
yeah.
6.6. So don't be deceived. Those of you, Mike was just on it. Good form, and we always said form matters. And all the players that have been on form have been hauling. So I like the pick. I'm a bit jealous of the pick. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a solid pick.
Okay, but something I'll probably maybe change closer to press conference, depending
Mm,
on whether they say he's fit or not.
mm.
Yeah. Another
Um,
midfielder pick that I have is McNeil. What do you think about that? Everton have
it's
brilliant fixtures. He's on
it's a
fire.
gamble to the point. A gamble of just being at a weak team. He's not always involved, but when he does get involved, he's hauling big. So I do like the outside choice of it. I mean, yeah, look at that 15 points against Palace, and then blank, but then 12 points. So, like, when he scores big. The only other option, I personally still think Rodgers is better than McNeil as a
So, quick
player and
question
as a
for
team.
you: out of McNeil, Johnson, Rogers, and I can only choose two, who are you choosing?
Johnson and Rodgers. Brendan
It sounds
Rodgers.
like they sound like ice cream or something.
Johnson and
Johnson and
Johnson.
Rogers.
Rodgers and
Johnson
Johnson.
and Rogers.
It's
Johnson and
Brendan
Rogers.
Rodgers, and I don't know Rodgers' first name. Anyway.
Johnson and Rogers law firm. LBBWB.
FPL at law. Yeah, so I would go Rodgers and Johnson.
Yeah, and looking at Palmer and Saka, do you think they are mainstays in this team? Palmer, Saka, and Buemo. Do you have to go with them? Or
Yes.
a lot of people are shipping Saka out.
I was one of those people. I have Palmer and Saka, and I am satisfied with my choice. And I have Mbeumo, and I think he is a staple until he just stops performing because he is still hauling for the last 4 weeks. He's getting goals,
Okay.
so why not?
I'm gonna just put in your suggestions here so everybody can see what the FPL hero that you are suggesting. So, and
How much money we got in the bank, just for interest sake?
1.2.
Decent.
That's because we saved some money
On Rodgers and upgraded Paro, but downgraded Araya. So yeah.
So then
okay,
we
well,
go to our
Haaland, let's just quickly
line.
touch on this because a lot of people still don't have Haaland in. I think he's 78% owned. If you want to just check that quickly. 73% owned. So for those of you that are wildcarding, I think you should put Haaland in your team. I think you just need to.
But should you though? Here's the thing. We were talking about this earlier. There are people who brought in Haaland and he blanked.
That's why he blanked though. It's
Twice.
the curse. It's the curse of the most brought in player.
The point is, if you went with him from the beginning of the season, stick with him. And if you didn't, you now have to spend 0.4 million more to get him into your team, which you already is going to struggle to find.
So is Haaland still worth it?
He is worth it. I think he has to be in your team, but he's not the type of player you can go, I'm going to think about it, or I'm not going to think. If he's injured, sure. But if he's playable, stick with him for the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
He's not the type of player you can really pull in and out at your own leisure unless you plan way in advance. Yeah. And if you try that, you're going to miss hat tricks. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. I agree. I think you bring him in and you just leave him and you just work around the price.
What do you think about my Vardy pick?
Vardy, I liked. I did plug him a lot over the last few weeks. I do like his run of form, his run of fixtures that's coming up, and he is getting goals now and then. I wouldn't say he's necessarily on form, but he can score goals. He is the threat for Leicester. If we look at his fixture run, he's got good fixtures coming up other than the Chelsea game. Generally, he's got good matches. A lot of fixtures at home as well, which is what I'm really looking at. West Ham, Brighton, Chelsea, Forest. So home advantage, it is a thing.
Yeah.
However, I feel like the window for Vardy has passed.
Yeah, you think there's someone else? Who would you put in instead of Vardy then?
I would be looking at Cunha as a budget option. 6.5 mil. Obviously doing it for Wolves, getting goals.
Maybe
for Wolves.
Raul? Jimenez?
Yeah, not a bad shot either. The other person that I've noted down, there's two Obviously, Cunha we've spoken about now, but the other one is Solanke. Maybe it's time to move back to Solanke. I don't know.
Bro, we were burnt so bad in the beginning. I don't
Uh,
want to get burnt again.
I know. But I'm still so upset Wisa is out injured because I would tell you to bring in Wisa.
And what about going with our best friend Duran here?
So
Especially if I don't have Rogers.
this is interesting because Duran just doesn't stop scoring off the bench. So unfortunately, he will always be the bench player. He's the super sub. The question is for 6 mil to only play 20 minutes and maybe get a goal is a bit risky.
Yeah, I think. And what about keeping with Vardy, considering Welbeck, considering he
Welbeck,
scores lots of goals?
I mean, I don't see a reason why not to move him if you've had him for this long.
At least at least to stretch him out into that Wolves game, maybe.
Yeah, but even after that City game, he's got a good run of fixtures. So
Yeah.
for me, yeah, for me, it's my front three are Havertz, Haaland, and Pedro. So I've got a premium attacker up front. So if I had to look at your team and think about it, another outside pick I could tell you is just Delap instead of Vardy. Delap has just been scoring for Ipswich. He's just always at the ball when they're needing to score. Either him or going back to Chris Wood, who we speak about a lot. So it for that Vardy role, I don't think it's locked in. I think Welbeck and Haaland is locked in if you're not going to go for like a Havertz. I think between
the money.
Wood, Delap, yeah, Jackson might have been a good shout. Jackson might have been a good shout.
If you had more money somewhere else, if you make some money somewhere else.